Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. We've got a lot of people on the tube. Hope well today, hope you're feeling grand, and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today, people tube, we're doing an experimentation on the Black Star Silverline Standard that I reviewed quite a while ago now. And in that review, I was talking about like how much low end this thing's got, and I was wondering if it's because it's closed back. Now, if I make it open back, would it record better on the mic? Because the DI, the line out, sounded like what the amp sounded like in the room. When I used the mic, there was too much low end. I had to edit it out when I edited the video because it was just... It's not too much of a problem, but it doesn't record very well. It sounds great in the room, but when you get a mic in front of the amp, it picks up all that extra low end, and it's kind of annoying. So, I was curious if I make this thing open back, will it allow the low end to escape? So, because what's happening is basically, as you're playing, the sound on an amp doesn't all come out the front, some of it comes out the back. And I think with smaller amps, they need to be open back. Because you're just getting, there's too much air in the cabinet if they're closed back. So, because basically what's happening is the sound's coming out the back, it's smacking into this back baffle board and then being pushed back out the speaker, and I think it's giving it too much low end. That's a theory. We're going to see if that is the case today, because I have cut the back out of the Black Star. So I have a panel because we can then see if there's a difference or not. So that goes back on. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to record a loop on the RC10 and basically put a mic in the front, let you hear it in the front, see if it makes any difference at all. And then what we're going to do, we're going to mic the back as well. So I'll turn the amp around, let the same loop go, and what I'll do is I'll put a mic here. Well, I might use the room mic for that actually, people. That might be a better call actually, because you'll hear it in the room. So what I'll do is I'll aim the amp this way. You'll hear the loop playing, and then I'll open the back and just see what happens, see if it opens it up at all. So, without further to-doodles, and I hope I explained it okay, people too, because like I say, I love this amp so much, it's just, there's too much bottom end. Again, it's kind of a running theme though, because like I say, if you saw the review I did on the head recently, there's too much low end in that as well. But it's like there's so many amps I think that have just got too much bass in them, and this is one of them. In all fairness, I think quite a lot of guitar amps have far too much bass for a guitar amp. But you know, either way, that's enough waffle. So I'm going to get it all plugged in. We're going to turn it back around. How cool do these amps look? I mean, seriously. Yeah, so I'm going to turn it back around, get it all plugged in. Get a loop recorded. I'm probably going to use distortion and something probably par muted so you can really hear the low end. So probably something like, you know, very offspringy kind of like guitar sound. Maybe something heavy, Alice in Chainsy, I don't know. But something heavy. So when I do take that off, if there is a difference in low end, we'll be able to hear it. But I want to use distortion because I think that'll be the best indicator of if there's a difference or not. So without further ado, people tube, let's do some experimentation. I feel like I should have a white lab coat, glasses, and like, you know, a notepad and be in a white room, but I'm not. This is my laboratory. Laborifice. Ugh. Okay, people tube. Now, I don't know if that's come across on the mic, and I haven't checked it yet, but there is a distinct difference in sound in the room. Like, literally, it's like the amp comes alive when this is off. And I nearly hit myself in the face then. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? It's like that bit in Holy Grail. Anyway, I did actually hit myself there, but that's okay. It's fine. Yeah, there's a difference. There is a difference. Is there more low end? Is there less low end? It seems to be, to me. It really did seem to kind of like just make the amp more open sounding, just cutting this off. And that's kind of what I was hoping would happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the room mic and I'm going to turn the amp around. Now it's going to sound really bad because all you're going to get is the bass frequencies. You're not going to get the front end of the amp where the actual sound comes from. You're going to get the back end of the amp and it's going to be covered for the first part of the sound. But it's not about the tone of it. It's about does it open it up and does it decrease the low end. So we're going to get rid of the mic. We're going to move that out of the way. And we're going to flip the amp around. And next thing you'll hear is basically the back side of the amp. Ooh, madam. And it'll have the cover in place. And then we'll take it away, put it back, and then take it away again. And just see what happens. To me, that's a really big difference in the room. This is one of the reasons why I want to use the room mic. I might actually, people of YouTube, I'll use the room mic now quickly as well. So what you'll hear first, actually, I do apologise about this, but I've just thought it'd be a good idea. I'll use the room mic to show you what it sounds like with this on and with it off facing forward, and then you'll hear the example of it behind with this on and then off, on and off again. So normal, frontward facing first, and then we'll do it backwards again on the room mic this time. No close mic, because you might be able to hear it better on the room mic. So I'm going to put this back in place. To me, that was a massive difference. It felt really weird because as soon as I removed that back thing, it was like the amp went and was able to breathe in more air. Whereas before it sounded good, but it was a bit kind of like it was kind of stifled. And as soon as I took that back panel off, it went and sucked all the air back in, and it just came alive. It was fantastic. Anyway, so let's try this with the room mics and see how this goes. So same loop, same everything, and yeah, see what happens. Here we go. Okay, people choose. So there you go. You've heard it in the room now as well as close mic. There is a massive difference, and the weird thing is when I've got my hand on the back on that panel, it's like there's something inside trying to escape. You see, the words are mixed up there. Dyslexias rule KO. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, yes. So when I had my hand on the back, it's like there's something inside trying to get out. It's like banging on the back door. It's like, let me out. And as soon as you open that back panel, it's like, whoom. And it just breathes. And there's none of this kind of low-end flub that you kind of get with the amp. It's kind of gone. You know, it still sounds great, but it sounds way more open with that back panel cut open to me. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go and have a listen on my computer through the monitors and just see if there's any difference, and I'll give you my final thought. But people of the tube, I am going to go on record and say that these Blackstar Silverlines are literally one of the best lines of amps I've ever played. Now, I never thought I would say that about any Blackstar in the world, but these and the head is incredible. Absolutely incredible guitar amps, they really are. But again, that back closed back panel thing and the amount of low end in the head needs to be rectified. They're not perfect, but they are amazing. But yeah, there's too much low end, far too much low end. Anyway, I'm gonna go and have a listen, and I'll give you my final thoughts. I'm curious now. Okay, people of tube. So I've just had a listen back. So on the close mic, I don't know if there was any difference. It's hard to tell. On the front-facing room mic one, it was hard to tell as well, but on the back one, you could really hear the difference. And it's kind of annoyed me, because there is such a difference in the room. Like, the way this thing feels and the way it sounds in the room, it hasn't... I haven't really caught it. It doesn't feel like I've caught it, and it's kind of frustrating. But I'm going to leave all the examples in the front, the close mic, the front-facing room mic, and the back-facing room mic. To me, in the room, like I say, it might just be one of those things where you have to be in the room, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying. But it definitely sounds better with the back off. It really does. In matter of fact, I'm going to leave it on because I'm not playing through it right now. But stop the spiders from crawling in. But to me, it sounds better open back. It really did. It's more alive. It's clearer. It's got so much more to it than it did have when it's all sealed, basically, should I say? Like I say, when I had my hand on the back, it was like something was banging on the back and trying to get out, and then you let it out, and the amp comes alive more. I don't know if I'm using the right mic for it. I mean, I thought the room mic would pick it up. I mean, the room mic definitely picked it up when I had it back facing, because you can hear how much brighter it gets, and that happens out the front as well. It just doesn't seem to catch it, and I don't really know why that is. But there is a definite difference. Open back, closed back, there's a definite difference. And I would recommend to Blackstar to open back their Silverlines, and also decrease the low end in the head, please. Crikey. No one needs... You're a guitarist. We ain't bass players. We don't need that much low end. But there is a big difference, and it's I'm frustrated now that I haven't really caught it, because it's so obvious in person, yet it wasn't that obvious on the recording, which is frustrating, people of the tube. I mean, it might be. I mean, you let me know, people of the tube. Comment below. Did you hear a difference between it being closed back and open back? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts on this one, because, again, in the room, there is a huge difference. Huge difference. On the close mic, no, I don't know. It's still got that woofiness. But again, I could be hearing it with maybe tainted ears because I've been right next to it and it's been blasting. I might have to give my ears a bit of a rest and then listen to it again. But people too, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me know. I'm very curious to read your comments on this one. Because yeah, it's weird. It's really strange, that is. But anyway, it is what it is. That's what these little videos are for. They're kind of like just little experimentations into kind of like, does it change? Does it do that? Does it do the other? What makes a difference? And I still do believe that open back on these things is the way to go. The closed back, not for me. Every time I play through this thing, it will be open back. I won't be playing it closed back yet. I just don't like the way it feels. Like I say, especially now, hearing it kind of like, I wasn't playing as well, so I was able to really focus. Especially hearing it now, it's like, I'm not doing it again. It just sounded so stifled with the back panel on. As soon as you take a back panel off, it came alive. It could breathe, because all the frequencies, like I say, were bashing into that back baffle boarding and then being pushed back through the speaker. And I just don't think that's good for a combo of this size, or any combo personally. I don't like closed back combos. My Fender Bronco combo, I've done the same thing to that. I've opened the back up. And a lot of people online, I looked up online, and loads of people have done that to theirs as well. A lot of people have done better jobs than I have, but yeah, oh well. But yeah, apart from that, I hope there's been something in this video. I hope it's been somewhat informative and interesting, people of YouTube. Like I say, it's not a particularly long one, but it's something I wanted to do, and I thought I would film it. Because usually I'll just do this stuff on my own and see what happens, but I want to get your opinion on this one, people tube. So again, I'm really happy I filmed this one, even though the results aren't exactly what I wanted, but or exactly what I heard, so to say. There is still a difference. There is definitely a difference. You can feel it and hear it in the room. Like I say, it's just, I don't know. It's been a real pig to capture it. But I've tried a couple of different ways, but hopefully you can kind of hear. It might be a slight difference, maybe I'm not been able to hear it properly yet. But anyway, let me know what you thought, people of the tube. Other than that, thank you very much indeed for watching. So much indeed, it really means the world to me. Thank you so much. If you like the channel and like the videos I do here, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below, as well as a link to my Bandcamp, where you can listen to my music. Yeah. Other than that, these Black Star amps rule the day, and I will see you again for another video very soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Thank you very much indeed for watching.